What do you want? What? You went to the bottomless cave? And you made it out alive? That's impossible! It would have torn you apart in an instant. Yeah, I wanted to get rid of you. We don't need outsiders here. Definitely not now. But you've proven you have what matters most to the swine. Strength of spirit and the will to survive. Go talk to Barlam, our chieftain. He'll probably find some use for you. I can't tell you more than that. Barlam will decide what you need to know. Break a leg, or both.
Kill you, maybe. But the fact that you're still breathing only proves your strength and your determination. You survived Kjell's trial, which means you've proven yourself worthy of knowing what we're up against. The Stagfather happened. A bunch of fanatics called him into this world. They claimed that when he arrived, he would devour everyone, then choose his own and grant them their rightful place in the afterlife. You can see how well that turned out. And that's how the story of the Swine tribe ends. I doubt we'll ever recover from this. He is our most important god, the one we worshipped in the homelands. And we brought him here with us. He watched over us, blessed us with an abundance of game. In return, he had our unwavering devotion. But, as it often happens, some became blindly devoted, while others began to doubt. And the first group decided that the rest were unworthy of the Stagfather's grace, so they set him loose, to kill the entire tribe. The faithful joined him. The unbelievers were slaughtered. One of ours, Gudri, did something completely suicidal. with the help of our shamaness. He accepted the god into his body and is trying to keep him contained. But he's growing weaker by the day. We don't have much time before the Stagfather breaks loose again. And trust me, mixing the old gods with the weirdness thickening in these lands is the worst possible combination. We have to act quickly, although I have no idea where to even start. Out of the question. If we don't deal with the Stagfather, what happened here will happen to the rest of the Forlorn Swords. And the only thing that's happened so far is you proving you don't bow to fear, and that you know how to handle a weapon. Now, I need someone willing to help the Svine tribe. Well, that's a good question. Because I have no idea. All I know is that we need to find a way to get rid of the Stagfather once and for all. Gudri won't be able to hold on much longer, and when he gives up, we're all lost. Go find Glirna. She must know something. She's the shamaness serving the damn thing, and somehow she's keeping Gudri alive. We may not like each other, but I know Glirna isn't a fanatic. She owes as much to her own tribe as she does to the Stagfather. If you need to get ready, go see Hjarn. He'll help you with your gear. There's still the cook, Sagar. You could talk to him too. You can sleep in any of the empty houses. I'm sure their previous owners won't mind. Glirma is our old soothsayer. Very old. When I was a kid, that hag was already as wrinkled as an apple, forgotten in the storehouse for 3 winters. When I was a kid, that hag was already as wrinkled as an apple, forgotten in the storehouse for 3 winters. But fate has tangled our paths, and we have no choice but to work together. The fate of the tribe is more important than our petty squabbles.
The forest whispered, the fire screamed, the bones agreed, and at last, here you are, just in time. The horned god told me, before hatred blinded him. He said your paths would cross, that you would bring redemption or ruin. In my dreams, I hear the crack of seals and snapping bones. The horned god, cursed with pain and blood, tears at the bonds I used to bind him. The earth trembles with his fury. Can you feel it? Soon, he will break free. And then we shall pay for calling him with blood, not faith. Yes, Gudri, who took the Horned God's fury into himself to save us all. He reached for blood and bone, and let me turn his body and soul into a vessel for the god's essence. I sealed it with wards, like a cage of thorns. But the god's wrath will tear through them, sooner or later. And when that happens, there'll be no saving us. If you want to bind a god, you don't choose the method. You use everything. Old songs stolen from the dead, runes slick with black blood, teeth and claws. The Horned God in his hate-twisted form was a nightmare that came to devour us all. The finest warriors of the Spine, the pride of our tribe, gave their lives on the altar of battle to weaken him. My disciples, my sons and daughters, they strayed. After the Gunvalda massacre, I and the others who served the Horned God could not bear the shame. We heard our kin cry out and turned our heads. We betrayed our blood. The most devout called upon the old powers, out of grief, out of rage, but without reverence or care. They begged the Horned God to come and punish us. And he did. Not as a guardian, not as a spirit of the woods. He came as fury, pain, and slaughter. I didn't think they'd reach so deep into the dark. By the time I saw what they were doing, the earth was already soaked in blood. They opened a door, and I gave them the key, in the form of songs, rites, and signs. He cannot be healed. He will not forgive us. But I can try to keep him bound by will, by bone, and by blood. To do that, I need a fragment of his original self. The first trophy. The skull of the first stag ever hunted and offered in sacrifice to the Horned God. It will remind him of who he once was. Bind his essence to the first offering, one made out of reverence, not fear. It may hold him in the unrealm of the hunt, long enough for me to complete the rite that will seal him there. It's hidden, tied to the places where we once worshipped the Horned God. 3 shrines, as old as the forest itself. But now, they must be destroyed. Each one is guarded by a servant of ancient memory. Kill them. Cast down what still remains upon their altars. Once all 3 fall, the 4th shrine, hidden and forgotten, will reveal itself. The first trophy waits there. Go, but be warned. The shrines are no longer sacred. They're fouled by hatred, and the guardians who watch over them do not rest. Until we meet again.
Yes, in the homelands. I thought we could leave him there, but he escaped to Avalon. He took on human form, or rather he used one of his followers as a vessel. It was only when he sensed that Nimue, Merlin's apprentice, had discovered his true nature that he revealed his real form. The beast grew to the size of a mountain, striding toward the temple his followers had built for him deep in the woods. I dread to think what would have happened if he'd made it there. We barely managed to bring him down, and clearly, not completely. I outlawed the Stagfather's cult, but I see that 6 centuries later, it's still around, and surprisingly, among the Dalrita as well. I thought they worshipped only Mathea.
I've been waiting for you. I knew you'd succeed. Fire and bone do not lie. There's no time left, child. The horned god is tearing Gudri's body apart, and his fury fills the air. Soon, his essence will break loose and devour everything in its path. I must begin the ritual. But I fear he may be too blinded by rage and pain to see the first trophy as anything more than bone and memory. Your path leads to the unrealm of the hunt. There, you'll face the horned god. If you can weaken him, if you can break through the frenzy even for a moment, then the first trophy might reach what's left of his old self. Oh, child, we both know you're not entirely human. Your second soul will guide you where others lose their way and perish. I understand. He's the chieftain after all. But be wary of his words. Whatever is going through your mind right now, there is no other option. We need you and your help. If you need to prepare, go. I'll open the passage for you anyway. But remember, you're not going there to bring death to the horned god. Wound him, weaken him, then return. That's when the trophy will speak, and I will close the gate behind you. Hopefully, for good. Take care. The horned god does not forgive weakness.
By what right do you tread in my realm, blasphemer? Who dare stand before me unbidden? The call. I answered it, as I have done for centuries. And the moment I stepped beyond my realm, the weirdness consumed me. The hunt that began then was unlike the hunts I behold through the eyes of my followers. I was the hunter, they the prey, and I felt in that moment as if it had always been so. Only those who summoned me were hidden from my sight. Glirna. She has long been attuned to my call. I watched the world through her eyes. When I answered the summons and the weirdness took hold, our bond was severed. Glirna must have sensed it. That rage I felt, it was not my own. The moment the sacrifice was taken, I knew it had not been done by my will. If Glirna knows how to restore our connection, I accept this path. Then do what must be done, mortal. shall be sacred law to summon me only in the light of day. If any follower dares to call upon me by night, my wrath shall fall upon them. To you, mortal, I grant mercy. Go now and carry my decree.
The Stag Father has returned to his true form. I felt our bond rekindle. His power restored to its original untainted essence. Thank you for understanding. You've restored our identity. Yes, I hear his call within my soul. His will is our law. His wrath will fall upon those who dare summon him by night. And he will hunt them by day. For by night he shall not answer. We will return to our roots. Once more we shall be masters of the hunt by the Stag Father's grace. We will endure. For such is our fate. No weirdness, no worldly matter shall lead us from the sacred path we walk. The world may fall, the weirdness may consume all, and yet the swine shall remain wrapped in the Stag Father's favor. That is Barlam's will and decision. He tends to mortal affairs, and that order will stand. My calling is to restore faith and trust in the Stag Father. That is the greater mission, to remind us all who we truly are. May the Stag Father always keep you in his sight, child. Until we meet again.